Welcome, Internet Nomad. This is a special game tale on Super Mario 64. The Nintendo 64 was my console growing up, and Mario was my favorite game. I never got far in the game as a kid, and it wasn't because the game was too hard. It came down to never checking the star door in the basement. In my teen years, I would finally beat the second Bowser and get the key to the upstairs part. This moment was so special. I had dreams of what possibly was up there. I never saw playthroughs or anything of Super Mario 64. When I finally saw the levels upstairs, it was magical. Tick-Tock Clock was great. I'm going to rank my favorite levels later in the video. I remember always wanting the metal cap in the game. As a kid, I never made it through Hazy Maze Cave. I only had Smash Bros as a reference for how Metal Mario looked. Going back to an old game as a teenager always brought forth new surprises and awesome memories. When the 3D All-Stars was announced, I bought that game on day one. It was fun replaying this game. I prefer the game with the N64 controller. I just find it better equipped to control Mario on the screen. I had so many problems using Joy-Cons, especially with a little drift. I remember my older brother showing me how to get the Vanish Cap. It was so cool to drain the moat around the castle. This was my first 3D experience as a kid with Ocarina of Time. I fell in love with the 3D Mario series. I played Sunshine and Galaxy, skipped over Galaxy 2. I wish I bought that game when I could have though. I liked the Galaxy, but it was too linear for me. Odyssey was the next 3D game to live up to the hype of the first three 3D games. I will talk about those games in a later video. This video is all about 64. My list of levels from worst to best starts now. The bottom of the list is Rainbow Ride. The level is born with a long carpet ride. It's very easy to slip off the map. The stars aren't fun to get. Very bare bones details make up the level. I like the castle part. The second to last is Tall Mountain. This level gave me so much trouble on Switch. Man, I hate the repetitive stars to be found. I have no childhood nostalgia for this level since I never played it as a kid. Tiny Huge Island is next. The concept sounds cool on paper, but the level is too small and easy to get bumped off by tiny enemies. Dire Docks is next on the list. The stars aren't memorable and it feels like a filler level. The beginning of the level is annoying. I really don't like this level at all. It is higher on the list just because of the submarine. That was cool. Snowman's Land is next on the list. A very simple concept makes up the level. I love the central snowman. The igloo was a good section. I like the winter levels, but this one is weaker than the other one. I love Wet Dry World. I love how the height of your jump determines how high the water is. The town section was a nice surprise. The change in water levels make the level fun. Tick-Tock Clock is a nice level. I always liked clocks. Having a level that feels like you're inside of a clock is great. Also, the time changes the speed of the level when jumping in is awesome. Hazy Maze Cave is the level I had trouble with as a kid. Replaying it is easy, but I still don't like it much. The monster in the lake was cool. I love you could ride it. It is also how to get Metal Mario. That alone earns it this spot on the list. Jolly Roger Bay is one of my favorite water levels in gaming. I love the eel. The pirate ship was cool too. It's very slow but fun. Cool Mountain is above these other levels, mainly because of the slide. I also really like the penguin characters. I remember always taking the wrong penguin to the mama to see what she says. Whomp's Fortress is next. Very simple level, but it's effective. I love the boss of the Whomp. I remember watching a YouTuber use the cannon to get to the cage star. He had no idea that the owl was how you were supposed to do it. I only knew this from seeing my older brother get the star. Bob-omb Battlefield is a classic. The first level of the game is so iconic. I love the idea that King Bob-omb is the third boulder after you beat this level. It's really easy to get all the stars. I would always break the chain chop free and get that star first. Big Boo's Hunt is a great level. I remember finding out how to get to the top of the mansion. It is a spooky level, but I loved the atmosphere growing up. The piano never scared me, but I always avoided it anyway. Shipton Sandland is one of my favorite levels because of the pyramid. I always liked the block path. I would always enter the pyramid just to look around. As a teenager, I faced the boss from that level. It's a really fun fight from what I remember. Lethal Lava Land is one of my favorite levels. I will always collect the red coins first. When I learned how to go into the volcano, I would always enter it. This is my favorite level of the game. I won't discuss the Bowser levels because they're all simple platform challenges. I always liked how Peach turns into Bowser. As a kid, I wondered if you could jump into the Peach painting. I would always run and long jump to that painting. I have so many memories of Super Mario 64. I may talk in length about my experiences some other time. Farewell, Internet Nomad.